Hey guys, this is The Bit, and this is part 9 of Crash Team Racing. So in this episode, we're going to be going to the 5th area, which we've passed through a couple of times, but never actually done anything in. It's actually the second area that you come across in the game, but you can't actually do anything in it until after you beat the game. So I'll just show you guys where that's located, and also I'll show you what we'll be doing in that 5th world. It should be pretty easy to find because, as I've said, it's the second area in the game, but I guess going backwards it might be a little bit hard to see, but you can tell by that rocket ship that was just above the entrance. Okay, so there's this door here, which we could have opened back when we had only 2 keys, but we couldn't do anything inside of it until now, until after we got all the CTR tokens. That opened up these gem cups. In this episode, I'm going to just be doing the red and the green gem cup. We'll do blue and yellow in part 10, and purple, and we'll finish up the final boss in part 11. So here we are in the first track of the Red Gem Cup, and this is Crash Cove. Also, I'm going to be showing the speedometer off in these gem cups because we've already seen the mini-map for each of these tracks probably 3 times each, if I recall correctly. And I also believe that the AI is at its strongest during these gem cups, so this could be more interesting than the other races. I'll be trying to show off any interesting shortcuts or cool techniques as we go along as well. And after each race we get points, not unlike a Mario Kart Grand Prix. So you can think of these gem cups as Grand Prix. Coming up next is Mystery Caves. If you haven't noticed by now, the red gem cup has each track that gave us a red CTR token. And that goes as well with each of the other different colored gem cups. I guess I should explain the speedometer a little bit. So at the bottom of the speedometer we still have our power sliding gauge with the turbo boost. That was on the map screen as well, as you can see here. But when we switch back to the speedometer, there's another gauge on the right. Now that gauge is associated with how high we jump. And if we jump high, like that, it will change color and we'll be able to get a landing boost off of it. Now green is a small boost, yellow is a average boost. We want yellow for the most part. You'll probably see yellow the most frequently. But then when it's red you get a really big boost, but those are not very frequent. And then of course there's the gauge and the colors on the gauge. So generally if you're in the green at all, it means you're going really slow and you should probably speed up. The yellowy orange area is about average speed without boosting. And then as soon as you get into the red, that is your speed with boosting. You basically always want to be in the red with the gauge as maxed out as possible. And that about wraps up Mystery Caves. These are the current standings. Next we've got Blizzard Bluff. I imagine this cup will be very short because we've gotten only very short tracks, so far. So don't expect this red gem cup to be very long. Oh, I messed that up. Well, I'm not sure if I want to keep trying that because I'm not very good at it. So I think I will just stop doing that for now. And I've never used this or shown it off. Well, I'll do it after this. But there is a reverse button, a rear view mirror. But I typically don't find it very helpful. That could just be because the rear view camera is spaced a little bit awkwardly. I'm not really sure. I just generally don't have a use for it. And I need to stop going for these shortcuts or I'm not going to win. Alright, back in the lead. So there I thought that I could cut underneath the ball, but my timing was a little off, so I got squished. And that is a very sloppy Blizzard Bluff. I believe at this point, even if I place last, I will still be able to get the gem. And Papu's Pyramid is the final track of the Red Gem Cup. Now, I said a couple seconds ago that I don't need to even place well at, I could come in last and still earn the red gem, but just sitting around and waiting for the race to end is boring, so I'm going to race it out anyway. I've never actually tried to get to that shortcut from the first one. It looked doable, but I've never tried it, so I just wanted to see if I can do it. And that just shows you how powerful that last shortcut is, because I was all the way back in 5th and I jumped to 1st with it. I think that might be the best I've ever done that turn. Oh, and of course right after that I run into a nitro. And that will wrap up the Red Gem Cup. I think after this I'm going to just cut straight into the next one, which I believe is green. So Ruse Tube is the first track of the Green Gem Cup, and I'm only going to be showing the red and green gem cups this episode, because if I showed all of the cups, it would be a really long episode, and I don't want to make it a whole lot longer than my other episodes have been. I'm saving this turbo item until I get 10 fruit like that, so that it gives me a even better boost. So I try to go behind that mushroom because it's even faster, but obviously I didn't do that. But it was okay because we were really far ahead. And these are the standings after the first track of the Green Gem Cup. Next up we have Coco Park. This is an item that I haven't gotten yet in these races. So what this clock does is it slows down everyone else for, I don't know, like 5 seconds, but once it's juiced up, that's what they call it when you have 10 fruit. Once it's juiced up, it does like 10 or 15 seconds. So I'm just going to do that to be a bully because I'm already in first. Also, something that I haven't talked about is the close camera mode. I don't really like this mode. I know a lot of people use this, but I prefer the far mode, which is this one. And that will be it for Coco Park. I haven't mentioned it, but after all of these cups are complete, that will be the end of each track besides Oxide Station, because that is the final boss's track. So naturally we would have to race him there. Poehler Pass is the next track, and once again, this is probably my favorite track right now. It's either this, Engine Labs, or Cortex Castle. There's one really crazy shortcut at the beginning here. I've never tried it before, so this could go really wrong, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, so it didn't go too badly, but basically you can jump over that wall and skip this whole section. But as I've said, I've never tried it before, so I don't really know exactly how to do it. But it would save a lot of time. But this one's a lot easier than the other one, so we just stick with that one most of the time. What I did there was I just used the bomb to blow up the missile that was tracking me. Yeah, defensive play is really important in this game, at least against other players. Against the computer, you generally are fine because you're far enough ahead of them to not have to employ defensive play, but it's good to just know what does what. Oh, I thought I could get over that wall. I've never actually bounced off of it like that before. I either miss completely or I make it. Oh, we should still be fine. Yeah, we're pretty far ahead. Nope. Took that really steeply. And that will be the last time we see Poehler Pass. Unless, of course, I post time trials, which I'm still not really sure if I want to do. Also, if I post episodes where I play with friends, you might see it again. And lastly, we have Cortex Castle. Oh, I got pushed really far forward by someone there. I think it was Engine. But yeah, he boosted me really far forward through that jump for some reason. I guess what I can do is explain what all the juiced up items do. So this beaker, when it's juiced up, not only makes people spin out, but also puts a rain cloud over their head, which slows them down for a really long time. So basically, these beakers are really good for slowing people down. You can also drop them straight behind you or toss them in front of you. I already talked about the TNT. Regular TNT is just a box on the track. If you run into it, then it gets stuck on your head and you have a certain amount of time to jump to shake it off. But a juiced up TNT becomes a nitro crate, which you cannot shake off. It just blows up on contact. Oh, I messed that up. Then there's the what else? The mask. So the mask is like the star power up from Mario Kart, and when you juice it up, it makes you go slightly faster and it lasts a lot longer. So I already talked about the speed boost as well. The speed boost gives you a bigger boost that lasts longer. There's the bombs, the bowling bombs. When those are juiced up, they make a bigger explosion when they detonate. And then there's the missile, which travels faster when it's juiced up. I already talked about the clock as well. And I think that's all the items, I believe. If not, I can just talk about it in the next part. And that is Cortex Castle. Oh, I skipped that screen, but you'll see it here. Alright guys, that's going to be about it for this episode. We're getting even closer to the end of this game, 100%. Once again, leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave me some feedback in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next episode.